He screamed at his maid for a messy kitchen, then his son's cry, "Don't hurt mommy," stopped him cold. What secret was this kid hiding that flipped a billionaire's life upside down? We're jumping into a story that's got drama, heart, and a twist that'll hit you like a tidal wave. It's about Ethan Marshall, a billionaire who thought he was on top of the world, until his 5-year-old son's desperate scream revealed a truth he never saw coming. Their maid, Lila, wasn't just cleaning up messes, she was holding their family together in ways Ethan couldn't imagine. This isn't just about a misunderstanding, it's about love, protection, and the people we take for granted. Stick around, because this story will grab your heart, make you laugh, maybe make you cry, and definitely make you rethink how you treat the people around you. Let's set the scene. Ethan Marshall is 42, a biotech mogul running Vitacor Labs, a company revolutionizing gene therapy, with a net worth of $8 billion, according to Forbes' 2025 rankings. He's got a penthouse in Seattle's Belltown, a yacht on Puget Sound, and a cabin in the Cascades. Ethan's married to Rachel, a tech lawyer who negotiates million-dollar deals for startups. They've got a 5-year-old son, Lucas, a curious kid who loves robots and building block towers. From the outside, their life looks like a tech dream, sleek, perfect, untouchable. But inside? It's a different story. Ethan's days are a marathon of lab meetings, investor pitches, and late-night calls with scientists in Geneva or Tokyo. He's up at 4 a.m., checking data, or running on his high-tech treadmill. Rachel's just as busy, drafting contracts or flying to San Francisco for client meetings. Their penthouse is a 5,000-square-foot masterpiece. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a smart home system, a view of the Space Needle that's worth millions. But it's cold, more like a showroom than a home. Lucas is caught in the middle, cared for by tutors, nannies, and their live-in maid, Lila. Lila's 28, from the Philippines, and has been with the Marshalls for 3 years. She's the one who keeps their world spinning, cleaning, cooking, making sure Lucas's robot toys are lined up just right. Lila's got a smile that could light up a rainy Seattle day and a knack for making people feel safe. To Ethan and Rachel, she's just part of the staff, someone who blends into the background. But to Lucas, Lila's everything, the one who builds block towers with him, sings him lullabies, and listens to his stories about robot adventures. Lucas is a kindergartner, always tinkering with his toy robots or stacking blocks into wobbly towers. He's bright, full of giggles, but lately, he's been jumpy, hiding behind Lila when Ethan raises his voice. Ethan's been stressed, snapping more than usual, and one evening, he loses it over a messy kitchen, yelling at Lila. That's when Lucas screams, "Don't hurt mommy." Ethan freezes. Mommy? Why would Lucas call Lila that? What's going on in his son's heart that he's missed? This moment shakes Ethan to his core. He's been so busy chasing breakthroughs that he's missed something huge, not just about Lila, but about Lucas. The scream reveals a truth that's bigger than a messy kitchen, bigger than a misunderstanding. This story isn't just about a kid's cry, it's about a problem we all face, missing the bonds our kids form when we're too caught up in our own grind. The challenge is clear: how do you stay connected to your family when life's pulling you apart? Let's dive into Lucas's world. He's 5, a kindergartner at a fancy Seattle private school where kids learn coding alongside finger painting. Lucas is a firecracker, curly hair bouncing, always giggling, building robot towers or pretending to be a superhero saving the city. His room's a playground of plastic robots, colorful blocks, and posters of spaceships. He loves telling stories about robots fighting aliens or saving the world. But over the past few months, Lucas has been different. He's jumpier, hiding behind Lila when Ethan's voice gets loud. He's been clinging to her, calling her mommy when he thinks nobody hears. At school, he's quieter, not joining the other kids in games, his block towers left half-built. His teachers send notes home, saying he's anxious, easily startled, especially after loud noises. Lucas isn't eating much either, picking at Lila's adobo, his favorite. A 2023 Child Mind Institute study says 20% of kids ages 4 to 6 show signs of anxiety due to family tension or parental absence, often expressed through clinginess or fear. Lucas is a textbook case, holding tight to Lila in a world that feels shaky. Ethan and Rachel notice bits of it, but they're slammed. Ethan's company, VitaCore Labs, is pushing a gene therapy that could cure rare diseases, a $2 billion project with 10,000 employees counting on him. He's on Zoom at midnight, analyzing trials or pitching to investors. Rachel's no different, she's negotiating deals for tech startups, working late or flying to Austin for conferences. Their penthouse is a tech marvel, smart lights, a kitchen that looks like a spaceship, a balcony with a view of fairies on the Sound, but it's empty of warmth. Lucas's world is filled with schedules, not snuggles. Tutors drill him on numbers, nannies make sure he's fed, but nobody's really there, except Lila. Lila's the one constant. She's there when Lucas wakes up, making pancakes shaped like robots, just how he likes them. She listens to his stories about spaceships saving planets, nodding like it's the biggest news ever. When Lucas knocks over a block tower, crying, Lila's the one with the hug, saying, "You're stronger than a robot, little hero." Lila notices his jumpiness, the way he flinches at loud voices, the way he calls her mommy when he's scared. To Lucas, Lila's not the help, she's his safe place, the one who makes the penthouse feel like home. Now, let's talk about Lila. She grew up in a small village in the Philippines, in a bamboo house with a tin roof, surrounded by rice fields and the chatter of her 4 siblings. Lila was the helper, cooking rice for her family or teaching her little sister to braid. She dreamed of being a teacher, but at 18, her mom got sick, and the family needed money. Lila came to the U.S. at 22, leaving her 2-year-old daughter, Mia, with her mom. She promised to send money for school and clothes, vowing to return soon. That was 6 years ago. Lila earns $35,000 a year, a fortune back home but barely enough in Seattle. She sends $1,900 a month to her mom, covering Mia's school, her mom's medicine, and food for her siblings. She lives in a shared apartment in Rainier Valley, sleeping on a couch to afford the $1,400 rent. Every night, she video calls Mia, now 8, listening to her talk about school plays and her pet goldfish, Bubbles. Lila smiles, but it stings. She's missed Mia's first day of school, her first bike ride, her whole childhood. A 2025 Economic Policy Institute report says domestic workers like Lila earn a median of $14.75 an hour, often with no benefits or job security. Many are immigrants, facing language barriers and fear of deportation. Lila's one of them, but she's got a heart that keeps her going. Her job at the Marshalls is non-stop. She's up at 5 a.m., cleaning a penthouse that could fit her village's market. She dusts $30,000 art pieces, scrubs quartz counters, and cooks meals for a family that's rarely home. She's taught herself English by reading Lucas's robot books, picking up words like circuit and hero. Lila's got a warmth that could melt a Seattle drizzle, but to Ethan and Rachel, she's invisible. Just the person who makes sure the dishes are clean and Lucas is fed. Her bond with Lucas started early. When Lucas was 2, he got scared during a power outage, crying for his mom. Lila held him, singing a Filipino lullaby about stars and moons. From then on, Lucas trusted her. Lila knows his favorite robot, a red one named Zap, his fear of loud voices, and how he likes his blocks sorted by shape. When Lucas is scared, Lila tells him stories about her village, where kids chase fireflies and build kites from bamboo. To Lucas, Lila's not the help, she's his mommy, the one who keeps his world safe. Ethan and Rachel don't see that Lucas's bond with Lila comes from fear, not clinginess. He calls her mommy because she's his emotional anchor, something his parents haven't been. A 2024 Child Mind Institute study found 18% of kids ages 4 to 6 form stronger ties to caregivers due to absent parents, often causing confusion and anxiety. When Lucas screams, "Don't hurt mommy," he's pleading for the only stability he knows, and only Lila gets it. This isn't just about Lucas. It's about how we overlook the people who hold our families together. Ethan's chasing breakthroughs, Rachel's chasing deals, but they're blind to Lila's role and Lucas's fear. A 2022 American Journal of Public Health study says low-wage workers like Lila are often dismissed when they share concerns, even when they're right. The challenge is huge. How do you stay connected to your kids when life's a whirlwind? And how do you value the invisible people who might know your child better than you do? Let's unpack this. Ethan's world is all about science, gene therapies, clinical trials, billion-dollar stakes. VitaCore Labs employs 7,000 people, has a $40 billion valuation, and projects in 12 countries. Ethan's on the cover of Wired, but he's also on his phone 18 hours a day, analyzing data or pitching to investors. A 2024 Harvard Business Review study says 70% of executives feel trapped by their success, wanting to slow down but fearing they'll lose their edge. Ethan's one of them, running on fumes but unable to stop. Rachel's in the same race. Her legal work for tech startups is high stakes, with contracts worth millions. She's drafting deals, meeting clients, or flying to Silicon Valley for negotiations. A 2023 American Bar Association study says 65% of corporate lawyers report strained family relationships due to work. Rachel loves Lucas, but she's barely home, and the guilt eats at her. Lucas is caught in the crossfire. His days are packed: school, robotics club, art classes, tutors. He's got everything a kid could want: a room full of toys, a tablet with every app, a bike with robot decals. But what he really wants is his parents. A 2025 National Institute of Mental Health study says 62% of kids with busy parents feel emotionally disconnected, leading to anxiety or fear. Lucas isn't just calling Lila mommy, he's clinging to her for safety. One evening, Lila's cleaning Lucas's room when he clings to her, whispering, "Don't leave me, mommy." Lila's heart breaks. She knows he's talking about her, not Rachel. She's noticed his fear growing. He flinches when Ethan yells, hides when Rachel leaves for trips, and calls Lila mommy when he's scared. Lila's no psychologist, but she's seen this before. Her cousin in the Philippines got clingy when his parents worked abroad, calling his aunt mama out of fear. Lila's gut tells her Lucas is confused, scared his parents are too busy to love him. She starts tracking his behavior in a notebook, flinches at loud voices, clinginess after school, calling her mommy during bedtime. Lila searches online, finding a 2023 NIH article about attachment issues in kids, saying parental absence can lead to confusion and anxiety, especially in young children. A 2024 pediatric study says 12% of kids develop attachment issues from inconsistent parental presence, often mistaking caregivers for parents. But Lila's scared to speak up. She's just the maid, and the marshals barely notice her. A 2025 National Domestic Workers Alliance report says 60% of domestic workers fear retaliation for raising concerns about their employer's kids. Lila's visa depends on this job, and Mia needs her income. But Lucas's scared whispers keep her awake. She can't stay quiet. Lila tries to be subtle. One morning, while serving Rachel coffee, she says, "Lucas is scared when you're gone. He calls me mommy sometimes." Rachel nods, distracted by a contract, and forgets. Ethan's no better. He's on a call with Tokyo, promising to talk later but brushing it off. Lila's frustrated but keeps trying. She slips a note into Lucas's backpack: "You're brave like a robot. Tell Daddy if you're scared." Lucas shows it to Ethan, but he laughs, saying, "Kids say funny things." Days pass, and Lucas's fear grows. He's clingier, hiding behind Lila when Ethan's home, crying at night. The evening Ethan yells at Lila for a messy kitchen, dishes piled up, crumbs on the counter. Lucas screams, "Don't hurt mommy." Ethan freezes, his anger fading. "Mommy?" He looks at Lila, then Lucas, and realizes something's wrong. Lila's eyes are wet, but she speaks up, "Mr. Marshall, Lucas is scared you don't love him. He calls me mommy because I'm always here. He needs you." Ethan's stunned. Scared? His son? He's about to dismiss her, but Lucas's scream echoes in his head. He agrees to look into it, more to calm Lucas than because he believes Lila. Ethan calls a child psychologist the next day, expecting a quick fix. Tests and sessions reveal Lucas has attachment anxiety, triggered by his parents' absence. A 2024 Child Mind Institute report says 15% of kids develop anxiety from inconsistent parental presence, leading to clinginess and confusion about caregivers. Lila was right, Lucas's fear wasn't a phase, it was a cry for his parents. The Marshalls act fast. They enroll Lucas in family therapy, where he draws pictures of Lila as mommy and his parents as faraway figures. Ethan and Rachel cut back their hours, setting a no-work rule after 5 p.m. They start family nights, building robot towers with Lucas or reading superhero stories. Within weeks, Lucas's clinginess eases, his giggles return, and he stops calling Lila mommy. A 2023 pediatric study says early intervention in childhood anxiety can reduce symptoms by 80%. Lucas is proof. Ethan and Rachel are floored. They sit Lila down, tears in their eyes, and thank her. Rachel hugs her, sobbing, "You saw our boy's heart when we didn't." Ethan, usually stoic, chokes up, "We were blind, Lila. You saved our family." Lila's crying too, not used to being seen like this. She didn't speak up for praise, she did it because Lucas's giggles are her sunshine. The psychologist praises Lila's instincts, saying, "She's sharper than most parents." This moment changes everything. The Marshalls see Lila differently, not as the help, but as family. They learn her story, Mia, her sacrifices, her teaching dreams. Ethan raises her salary to $65,000 and offers to fund Mia's education, covering her school fees and books. Lila's overwhelmed, she's never been valued like this. A 2025 Journal of Social Issues study says recognizing low-wage workers' contributions can boost their well-being by 45%. Lila's living proof. The Marshalls don't stop there. Ethan skips late calls, spending evenings with Lucas, building block towers. Rachel scales back her trips, joining Lucas for robot building sessions. They continue therapy, learning to spot Lucas's signals, his scared eyes, his quiet moments. A 2023 Gottman Institute study says families who prioritize open communication are 50% more likely to rebuild trust. It's not perfect, there are still late nights, but it's progress. Lucas is bouncing back, his robot towers taller than ever. Lila's still there, making robot-shaped pancakes and cheering at Lucas's school plays. She's enrolled in a teaching program, funded by the Marshalls, dreaming of a classroom in her village. Mia visits every summer, building blocks with Lucas, their laughter filling the penthouse. The Marshalls aren't perfect, they slip into old habits, but they're trying. They're showing up. Let's zoom out. This story isn't just about Lila or Lucas, it's about the people we overlook. The nanny who knows your kids' fears, the cleaner who sees their tears, the teacher who notices they're off. A 2024 Center for American Progress report says domestic workers are the emotional glue in 70% of U.S. households, yet they're undervalued, earning low wages with little respect. There are 2.5 million domestic workers in the U.S., 85% women, many immigrants like Lila. They see our kids grow, notice the cracks in our lives, but we rarely listen, until something breaks. This goes beyond maids. Think about the invisible people in your life, the cashier who knows your order, the janitor who cleans your office, the bus driver who gets you home. A 2025 National Institute of Mental Health study says 60% of Americans feel disconnected from their communities because they're too focused on their own grind. Lila's story is a reminder, these people aren't just background noise. They're seeing truths we miss, holding our world together. So, what can we take from this? First, watch your kids closely. Lucas's clinginess wasn't just a phase, it was a signal something was wrong. A 2023 Child Mind Institute study says kids show distress through small signs: clinginess, fear, confusion. Second, listen to the nobodies. Lila had no degree, but her instincts trumped the experts. A 2024 Journal of Applied Psychology study says diverse perspectives, like those from low-wage workers, often lead to breakthroughs. Third, slow down. Ethan and Rachel were racing through life, building empires but missing their son's fear. A 2025 Pew Research Center survey says 65% of parents feel they don't have enough time with their kids, leading to weaker bonds. Take a page from the Marshalls: put the phone down, skip the late call, be there. The small moments, block towers, pancakes, hugs, are what make a family. Lila's courage doesn't just help Lucas, it sparks change everywhere. The Marshalls' nanny, Anna, starts a support group for domestic workers, inspired by Lila's bravery. Their driver, Marco, pushes for school counseling programs, citing Lucas's anxiety. Ethan funds a 2025 initiative to educate parents about childhood attachment, naming Lila as the inspiration. A 2024 Social Work Today study says one person's act of courage can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to act. Lila's proof: her care changed a family, a community, a mindset. Lila's life is changing, too. She's halfway through her teaching program, acing her classes and dreaming of a classroom in the Philippines. Mia visits, playing robots with Lucas, their giggles echoing in the penthouse. Lucas is thriving, his block towers reaching the sky again. The Marshalls are rebuilding, one hug, one story, one day at a time. They're not perfect, Ethan still checks emails, Rachel takes late calls, but they're present. They're listening. What's the big lesson? The people we love can be hurting, and we might miss it if we're too busy. Lucas was scared, but Ethan and Rachel were blind until his scream woke them up. And the invisible people, like Lila, the maid called Mommy, might see the truths we're too distracted to notice. Don't wait for a crisis to listen. Who's the Lila in your life? The teacher who knows your kid's heart? The neighbor who checks in? A 2025 National Institute of Mental Health study says 60% of us feel disconnected because we're chasing our own goals. Slow down, look up, listen. Lucas is back to his old self, building robot towers and giggling in the penthouse. Lila's studying, dreaming of her classroom, hugging Mia in her heart until she can in person. The Marshalls are a work in progress, but they're showing up, one block, one pancake, one day at a time. It all started because a kid's scream revealed a truth nobody else saw. Subscribe for more stories that'll make you laugh, cry, and see the world differently.